Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a nice looking rack. I would have pinafore onto an E. Will opponent play one? I'm not seeing a 7. F and P don't go great together in bingos. But this is a balanced rack. If opponent changes, I could play FOP for an okay score and certainly sorting the rack out. So what other floaters would give a bingo? Gosh, all I'm seeing is pinafore. Not seeing anything ending ing. I've got the FOR prefix, but not seeing anything. So opponent taking a while with their opening move. That's encouraging. I think if they were going to change, they might do so rather quickly. I've got the pro prefix. I've got the IF part of an IFY suffix. Now, napy form is good through an M. Napiform and rifampin were both either missed or deliberately not played by Wellington Jigeri, a really good Scrabble player from Nigeria, in the recent July the 4th tournament in America, which was streamed and had some fantastic content. And I think that's available on the Let's Play Scrabble YouTube channel. Now, nearly 2 minutes for opponent to make their play. Are they going to provide an M or an E? Oh, neither. Okay, 22 points. So, does R give me anything? Nearly rainproof, but that's a 9. What about an O? Gosh, 3 of these tiles duplicate what I've got. But that doesn't make a bingo impossible. Nothing with an O. J. No. I. No. Okay. So I do have FOP, but it doesn't get value from the J. However, it totally sorts my rack out. If I did want to get value from the J, I could play FON. 30 points, and P isn't terrible. Wow, is this the play? I don't think so. I think that's just setting up more scoring opportunities with the J. So I'm going with FOP for 24. So is unbraid good? I think it could be. And that plays in row F, making if and door. And it plays in row I, making ord. But it may not be good. Oh, wow. Fabulous bingo by opponent. 99 points. Blocking both of my spots for unbraid. But providing plenty of floaters, including an E, finally. So anything with a Z, no. What about an E? So I have the under prefix with ABI, not seeing anything. Nothing with the R. Nothing with the I. So have I really exhausted everywhere for my bingo? Dor-I not good, otherwise unbraid could play. What about B? Oh, poor not good. Oh well. So what do I need to do here? Play off the U and the B. Where can I do that? Dob is good. The U, despite the N, is definitely a tile which has to go. Could unbraid have an anagram? Don't think so. Now, did I consider the B as a bingo floater? And is there really nothing with an E? No, not that I can see. Pod is good. Poi is good. So do I have any BIA words? Well, yes, I do. I think Erbia is good. Wrecking the rack, but 31 points. Wow, providing such a hot spot under JA. And a rubbish rack leave. So what about doing this? 28 points, that's pretty decent rack leave, not gifting anything to opponent. I'm going with this. Wow, I draw a fantastic rack. I actually see a blank for the first time in goodness knows how many games, and surely I am bingoing now. But look at this, I'm a bingo behind, so I absolutely need this. Will this double lane stay available in column 11? And there's another double lane in column 4 with AB. I've got the ing ending. So that would leave SOR blank. Well, I don't think taborings is good. Okay, that's been blocked. Oh, and another bingo for opponent. Wow, back-to-back bingos. That's nice. Now, column 11. This rack plus an I. So Signior, Signoria. Don't get doubled twice. This rack plus an I. Let me just take this back and consider an INGS ending. Yeah, don't I just have riotings? This will save some time. Setting up a hot Z spot, but the Z has gone. Likewise with the J, so riotings for 82. And pretty decent for 7 random tiles. If I play Phi or Foy, I'll have a very bingo-y set. Good to see the S. And, well, could there be a bingo here? 4 stay through an R, but the R of riotings, not quite the right spot. Opponent changes. Fantastic. So, Phi or Foy, or something else. And do I have any other bingos apart from 4 stay? I'm not seeing a 7. I'm not seeing an anagram of 4 stay. Floating S doesn't look good. And then the adoptee letters D, O, P, T. I'm not seeing anything. So I have Phi here, 29. Phi here, 29, the same. Rack leave, not great with this O. If I could dump the Y as well, it would be much better. But where can I play Foy? Well, here. For 30. Decent rack leave, denying opponent this triple word square, not providing terribly much, especially as the X has gone for facts. Am I missing any super hot Y spots? I don't think so. Yeah, I am going with this. And O'Fay would have been a nicer play last turn, but is a deleted slur, alas. Now, very close to a bingo, slightly duplicate heavy. So not seeing a 7 here, very few floaters on the board. What about a floating R? And I trail by 25, so a bingo would be welcome. This rack plus an R. Not seeing anything. This rack plus an S. Wow, this feels super close to a bingo, but I'm not seeing one. Void does take an S, so P is available for an SP word, not seeing one. What about the T? No. Oh, wow, 52 points. Very nice find by opponent. So I trail by 80. What am I going to do here? Such a nice rack. So I can do this for 14, keeping a nice rack. Not providing anything for opponents, but also not providing a very good score for me. However, I have only got 1 point tiles. So where is my score going to come from if I were to pursue score? What about the M? So the best I can see here is Enema, 21 points. I think AE is better, taking into account score and rack leave. It's 7 fewer points, but this is a really strong 5-letter set. Am I missing a bingo? This rack plus an R. So Eastern plus an A. I've got the anti-prefix. No, okay, I am going with AE for 14. Wow, has this paid off? This looks really nice. I have acetins on my rack. I have cineasts through this S. Ida doesn't take anything in front. What about the R? Cisterna, canister, creatines, nacrites. Nacrites through the R. So I've got nacrites and I've got cineasts. So that play of AE, playing just 2 tiles, I could have drawn A and E, but I didn't. I drew C and I. It's moves like that when you do draw tiles which don't make a bingo, which leave a strong negative impression and can act to discourage you from making that play. But you need to, when you're playing often effectively fishing, you must bear in mind that it's not always right to fish and not always wrong to fish. And I think in this instance, I was keeping a very good 5-letter set in Steen. And I've now got an unblockable bingo. But what's opponent got up their sleeve? They're already leading by a bingo. How much are they going to extend their lead by? Just 20 points. Fantastic. So I have got nacrites and tacrines, opening up column 15 as a 9-timer lane, but covering this double letter square. So in the absence of a bingo, opponent's not going to get a fabulous score. Can I avoid opening such a lane by having a bingo which starts 1 square to the left? So let me just revisit the bingos with an R. So I don't think there's anything beginning with an A. So canister, possibly carniest, creatines. Nacrites and tacrines, I'm not seeing anything better. Canister, cisterna. Is this the occasion when the one bingo out of 10 is the one which fits? Okay, so let me get this down. Oh, did I consider any other spots? Like, let me just pause. I've got 11 minutes. Is there a spot for a 7-letter lane? I've got caniest, cineast, and acetins. Wow, acetins nearly works in column 12, but doesn't. No. Okay, there is nowhere else, so let me get this down. And not a good pick. However, I am close to opponent, just 9 points behind. That with a grim-looking rack. All these vowels unseen, not on my rack. So I've got dwell and lewd on my rack. I could play dwell. Oh, wow, another bingo for opponent. Fabulous stuff. Their third of the game. So is that enough to secure the win? It may be. However, there's this 9-timer lane, or at least a bingo lane in column 15. Maybe I should open another. Opponent's gone in the spot where I was eyeing up a play of dwell. I could play dwelt here. 24 points. Pretty poor rack lead, but what constitutes a good rack lead with a rack like this? Not very much. What goes in front of A, E? Nothing much that I've got which generates a play through the M. What about this A? I think I do need to turn over tiles because I've only got one vowel, and if I'm going to play a vowel, then I need to play off a lot of tiles. Otherwise, I'm keeping a very consonant heavy rack leave. Having said that, I've just spotted this W spot. I could play wed for 43 points. Wow. That's a lot. But a horrible rack leave. And I'm still going to need a bingo, probably, because I'll be half a bingo behind and opponent on turn. And I'm not going to bingo with this rack. Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 31, so quite vowel dry. Anything down from the I? Don't think so. Tricky. Now, do I have anything, something WM? No. I'm just not seeing anything better than dwelt. And this is quite galling because it's a nearly 20-point score sacrifice. Over wed, and I'm retaining a G. But this still feels like the right play. I am opening a lane. And I'm keeping 2 consonants, not 4. I'm going with this. Wow, I draw the Q. Not good. 2 U's unseen. Where are the U's on the board? U of Uts. And U of Daub. So nothing available. Opponent goes in my spot. This lane, column 15, remains available. But priority now to burn the Q. Where can I do that? I'm minded to change. If you look at the unseen pool, everything before the U is super bingo-y. And I'm just not going to achieve anything with the Q. Let me pause. There is this Y spot. I'm just mindful of being 100 points behind. Maybe I have to try and get 20 or 30 points and hope to draw the Q, then play the Q for 20 or 30, and then bingo. So if I can't play the Q, I am looking to get value from the Y. Where can I do that? I've got deny. That's not great. No, the more I look at this, the more I think I need to change. This board is just really horrible. I will keep the E and the N. Wow, I draw a lot of consonants despite a lot of vowels rather, despite it being a vowel dry bag. 18 for opponents, obstructing the triple lane. So no bingo here, but a good scoring tile in the X. Do I have any IX plays? None which reach the triple. I could play Rex. And I don't need to worry about drawing vowels. There are only 6 unseen. So what about doing this? 38 points. And if I draw 2 consonants, I could be in bingo territory. Yeah, vowels are precious. And if I draw the Q, I've got I and N for chi and chin, both of which play in row C. Slightly hesitant about retaining quite as many vowels as this. I could draw 2 consonants and still not have a bingo. I have 6A in column 15. 42 points, this is better. Okay, so I am minded to play XI, so I will. And I draw the Q, of course, but with another, with an E, I think. I'm not sure what I drew then, what the second tile was. So I've got chi, I've got chin. Is opponent going to block that spot? Still both U's. Oh, and another bingo for opponent, their 4th one. I think that ends my prospects of victory in this game. 452 points to my 314, and I have the Q. Okay, so there goes a U, only available for Qua. 4 tiles in the bag. So I'm minded to play Chi to keep the most bingo-y set of tiles. Anywhere else for the Q? No, I don't think so. So Chi for 23. And I draw the Y and the L. So I've drawn the Y, L, and Q of the tiles that I threw back. Now, only 2 tiles in the bag. Do I have a bingo with these tiles? I don't think I do. Floating S, I've got the LY and ALLY ending. Crawl is good. But I'm not seeing anything great top right. I can see alls, but I'm looking to play the Y for score. I've got CAY in column 10 and CLY. Lit takes an A and an E. 33 points, fabulous spot by opponents. Sevruga playing off V, U, and G. So they're approaching the 500-point mark. They've got SHT on their rack. Does that play anywhere? Wow, it could do. S, H, and T. It doesn't make a 3-letter play. Not seeing many floaters. Okay, so I think I'm going to have 2 goes. Do I have any 5-letter plays beginning with a Y? That would score handsomely. No. If I do play down here, I could play leanly, but any vowel is going to give opponent an out, which I don't think they currently have. 2 minutes on my clock. So do I have a play in row O? I don't have anything which goes after S. What about a play coming from the left? So E-A-N, E-L. Nope, that's not working. What about a play? Any 5-letter play ending E-Y or A-Y? Alley. Okay. That doesn't give opponent an out. It's 37 points, and I am going out with E and N. So, does opponent have an out? Only 2 minutes on my clock. So, supposing they don't, what am I going to do with EN? I've got EN top right for 11. Daub takes an E. Great, just 21 for opponent. So my 11 spot remains available. NE doesn't score as much. Oh, well, what does this score? 14. I don't think I'm going to do much better than that. So I'm going with this. Let's see if we can get there. And the final score, 390 for me, 506 for opponent, a winning margin of 116 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what an intriguing game. So it was opponent to go first. They have the blank and they took a while on this play. Jizz, that's good. And they chose row G. And this was my rack. No F for pinafore. Phew, no missed bingo. Fon, that's what I thought about, but I was setting up quite a few tiles go underneath J, O, and quite a few tiles go after Fon. So I preferred the 6 points score sacrifice, retaining a better rack leave. Now, opponent's rack, and they have Zebroid, which was fantastic, for 99 points. So I'm on the back foot. I was all set to play Unbraid. Phew. It doesn't play Board and Daub for the same score, E3. That was my play. Now, what a fabulous set of 7 random tiles, but also a great spot. It's not easy to see the bingo here. And opponent found their way to Adoptee, so they're well in the lead, 120 points. But I have this fabulous rack. D2. Signors running over Daub was the highest scoring spot. Wow, what do? I do rioting, so 82. And all of the plays running over Daub score more than a double-double. Wow. Okay, not massively more, 7 at most. But I hadn't considered that as being in the same ballpark as a double-double. Now, finally, opponent with a tricky rack, no vowels at all. They change. No bingo for me. G1 foy for 34. What do? Oh, well, I play it lower and to the right for 30. Possibly. Well, the trouble with playing foy, as suggested, is that opponent could then play, say, AN, making far and zona, but so could I. And foy is setting up this hotspot under FA, so probably a little between those. Opponent, what did they change? Because this looks similar to what they changed. This is what they did have. They kept the K. Wow, they kept the K. And they have Mako for 52, which was a great spot. Now, this was my moment. I trail by 80. Super bingo-y letters. No missed bingo. Wow. And no great score either. So this is where I drop 10 or more points to keep a good 5-letter set. And you see here, these rack leaves are all good, but they're good 3-letter or 4-letter sets, and a 5-letter. Every extra tile you have in a really good rack leave is important because it's the random tiles you draw which can wreck your bingo prospects. If you keep a good 5-letter set, there are only two possibilities of your bingo getting crushed. So a good 5-letter set is pretty decent. So I like my play. Opponent plays Unlives, and here we go. I have bingos, but not that many. Only I saw Nacrites and Tacrines through the R. E8. Wow, adore is good. So anticize through the I. But I think Nacrites or Takerines is best. Now, oh wow. If I'd played Takerines, opponent wouldn't have had the T for anti-hero. And this is the point at which I was 9 points behind. But surely, in general, an N is more useful for opponent than a T in this spot. I think so. So I don't think Nacrites is inferior. It just hasn't worked out on this occasion. And another great spot by opponent. Now, this was a tricky rack. I trailed by a bingo, but there are lanes available. Just not a good rack. I thought about Wed, didn't like this rack leave. Jew is the same letters for less. So here we go, Dwelt for 24, keeping GL. I still like that. Even though it's a 19-point sacrifice, I just don't think I'm bingoing after GLLT. Now, opponent does take that spot for 33. I've drawn the Q. This is horrible. D10. Cly. For 31 with 2 U's to come. May have been worth doing. But everything in the 20s, I don't think so. Very tricky. I often, when I change, there are better plays. Now, opponent plays Craw. I've drawn a ton of vowels. Thought about 6-8, but for just 4 fewer points, I can keep a good rack leave. So this is certainly better than 6-8. But at M2, oh, EX. But EX keeps AEIIN, and my play keeps AEEIN. I think that duplicate E rather than duplicate I increases my bingo chances. Now, fantastic rack for opponent. Choice of bingos, and they play with Tautons. And I played off 2 tiles and have drawn the Q. So, I have Chi or Chin to go for. And I go with Chi because I thought the N was a bingo-y tile. Now, fabulous spot of Savruga by opponent, but 0-1. Vega also playable because Lit takes a U. Now, my rack. Did I have anything here? No, and I play Ali for 37. And no out for opponent. They play Shin. And, wow, C9. Oh, NAE and Chin, 17. So 3 points dropped at the death. But to no avail because I was well thumped by opponent who got over 500 points and scored or played 4 bingos. So absolutely excellent stuff from opponent. Many congratulations to them on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.